Ooh, welcome back to the Boneyard Podcast, everybody. This is your host, Jared Sheffield, along with my good friend
Artemis Brower.
We're coming to you this week with episode 254. And Artemis, the first podcast as a married man. All three of us, the Boneyard Podcast, all wifed up. How are we feeling?
Fully married. Last time I recorded, I was not a married man. Now I'm a happily married man. It feels great. Feels good. It was a good week last week. The next week went by like a blip. It went by so quick. But it was a good time. You were there. The boys were there. The girls were there. It was a good time.
Drinks were drank and fun was had.
Yeah.
I don't know that my liver is still fully recovered, but we're thriving and surviving, Artie.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, we'll get right into it. We got a jam-packed show tonight. I'm going to recap ECU Campbell, talk ECU Coastal Carolina here in a little bit with the guys from the Strut Podcast. And we're not going to go too long. I've been home for 2 days, and I leave again for the rest of the week tomorrow. So I'm going Tuesday through Friday this week, and Saturday you and I are turning right around and driving down to Conway, South Carolina, to watch the boys battle the beach chickens. So we're not going to go terribly long tonight. Apologies. Episode 254. Artie, do you have a 54? We almost forgot it last week. Do you have a 54?
54 real quick. I'm just going to name somebody that I just looked up.
This
Randy
is chalk.
White. Yeah, this is well, I mean, it is kind of chalk if you're a football fan. But I try to do something a little different.
It's not where I thought you were going.
Yeah, well, I've already done another one. I couldn't.
Okay.
Even though they are celebrating the Bears, and my Bears are actually playing right now, by the way.
Bears.
Watching this from the side on my phone as I record this podcast. We can multitask. But anyway, Randy White, Pro Football Hall of Famer, defensive tackle for the Dallas Cowboys, played his entire career with that team, 3-time Super Bowl champion. Just a phenomenal player. Don't know all his accolades, but I do know he's a Hall of Famer for the boys. So that's my 54 for the week, Randy White.
That's a good one. I'll be honest with you, Artie. I didn't realize my guy was still in the league. Didn't realize he was still in the league. Bobby Wagner.
Yeah. He's still willing to deal it, man. Bobby Wagner's still good. I
mean, he started week 1.
Yeah, he's not just in the league. He's good. Like he's still playing at a high level.
At the ripe old age of 35 years old, starting middle linebacker for a playoff contender.
Starting middle linebacker at 35, kids. That's really old for that position.
I mean, that's absolutely. I mean, second team All-Pro last year. Finished 17th in Defensive Player of the Year voting last year. I mean, that's come on now.
He's a Hall of Famer. Bobby Wagner's Hall of Famer for sure.
Yes. One-time Super Bowl champ, 10-time Pro Bowler, 6-time All-Pro, and he's the Hall of Fame All 2010s team.
Yeah. He's first ballot. Going to get his jacket in a couple years. He's definitely a Hall of Famer. Whenever he hangs it up.
Yeah. I was thinking, was he considered part of that Legion of Boom? I guess that was more the secondary,
nope.
But then they it started out as the secondary, and then they were like, okay, the whole defense is the Legion of Boom.
Right. Him, so Cam Chancellor, Richard Sherman, and who was the other one? There was one more. that I'm forgetting?
Earl
Thomas. No, what was Earl? Was
Thomas.
Earl on that?
I think Earl Thomas was considered part of it.
I think he was. I think that's the fourth one that we're missing. But I know it was Sherman.
Josh is giving us the thumbs up.
Yeah, Earl Thomas, Bobby Wagner. Those four right there. Incredible.
Josh with the orange body armor. That's wild. Gotta go red, my man. Gotta go red.
Not y'all both drinking body armor.
You're on mute, Josh.
Rookie mistake. When you make the Costco run and you see they have the multi-pack of body armor, you get the red. You're gonna get another good one, but they're gonna throw that orange in there. Drink these first, so that way you don't have to drink them last.
Damn right. Or you just
never had an orange body armor, so I wouldn't know.
Or you just give them to the homeless man on the street.
Might as well.
They need to stay hydrated. No free ads. No free ads. I guess now's a good time to mention the Boneyard Podcast is brought to you by Roback.
Yes, sir. You see it up there. There we go. I'm pointing to the right way.
Use Boneyard 20 for 20% off your first order at roback.com. The ECU collection. Look, you heard it here first. They're not adding any more new shirts, but they're adding some new colors coming soon. So stay tuned. If you missed the first drop, there will be more options available soon. All right, Artie, let's get into the notes here. First off, ECU volleyball. Man, they're hot.
Yes, sir.
6-0 record to the Tribe Invitational this weekend is what they're bringing. They're going to face William and Mary and play Liberty on Saturday. But I think they're one of like 20 teams in the nation that are still undefeated at 6-0. 2 weeks in the season.
Yeah.
And they don't even have our girl Izzy on the team.
Excellent.
Talked to Izzy recently.
Hope she's doing all right. I haven't talked to her in a while. Hope she's doing well.
She's doing well. She said she misses ECU, but she's enjoying the College of Charleston. So I mean, great place to be.
I didn't even know she had transferred.
Yep. She's at the College of Charleston now.
Okay.
The transfer portal it's not just for football, Artie, and basketball.
I know it's for everybody.
It takes the stud volleyball players away too.
Yeah. If it was the best move for her, we wish her all the best. Nothing but love. Is she a junior or senior?
I believe a senior.
Senior. Okay.
I think she's a grad transfer actually, but
okay.
All right. With volleyball, don't forget next Tuesday, ECU will have their home opener at 6 against Wake Forest. And then be sure to come out and support the ladies on Student Pirate Club night, Pitt County Schools, and ECU staff appreciation. I mean, they're getting them all in there, all in one game. Get out there and support these girls.
Do it. Stay hot, Randy. Stay hot.
ECU soccer opens conference play on Thursday night in Johnson Stadium against Tulsa. Tulsa brings a 5-2-1 record to the match, with ECU sitting at 2-3-2 with no home wins on the year. Also, get out there Thursday night, start the weekend right. And then, go out, watch us beat Tulsa, and then let's get ready to drive down to Myrtle Beach.
Absolutely. Support these women.
All right. Artie, ECU picked up their first win of the season. It was a 56-3 trouncing of the Fighting Camels out of Bowie's Creek, North Carolina.
Yeah.
Artemis, how are we feeling? I mean, let me just say from the jump. It was one of those games where, like, okay, yes, we knew we should win. It's an FCS team. But in years past, it has always felt like even those games are struggles.
Right. They're a trap.
I mean, the last time we played Campbell, I believe we were trailing after the first quarter. So to go in there in the Dowdy and do what you did, yes, they got the 3 points, but you absolutely held them and wouldn't let them do anything. And then you just had your way. You just had your way. You did what you were supposed to do. You're the better team. You went in there and you didn't play down to an opponent. That was refreshing to see.
Yeah, this was the kind of bounce back that you have to have, that you needed. This was like the freshman squad in high school, the JV squad practicing against the varsity squad. That's exactly what it felt like. This felt like Alabama UL Monroe from this past Saturday over the weekend. Like, this felt like what it should be. You're right. In years past, we were playing, and this is no slight, no disrespect to Campbell, but this is how it's supposed to go when an FCS plays an FBS, and we're a program trying to build and grow. It should be 56-3. It should be dominant. It should be over in the first half. This game was over in the first half. That is exactly what it should be. There were guys that we have no idea who they are, may not get any more touchdowns the rest of the year, getting touchdowns in the second half. That's exactly what it's supposed to be. And the kind of bounce back that you needed after a very difficult loss to NC State on the road in week one. Multiple guys touching the ball, multiple guys scoring, complete utter dominance on both sides of the ball. Defense opportunistic all night, offense obviously opportunistic all night. It's that kind of confidence booster. Again, it's Campbell. It's not a major test. We're going to get pushed much harder next week against Coastal.
I don't know, Artie.
But no, we'll get into that. But definitely the kind of confidence boost that you need when you play an FCS opponent. You're supposed to flex your muscle in that fashion. So it was excellent to see that.
Yeah, just like you said, it was like and I thought the same thing on Saturday night. It was like when you watch a UL Monroe play Alabama, or when you watch Middle Tennessee State play at Notre Dame or whatever. Well, right. That's probably not a good.
No, it was who did Tennessee play? They played some East Tennessee State or something like that. They beat them 77-0.
Yeah, and that's how it should be. That's how it should be. You are the better team. You're paying them money. They're literally getting paid to take an L and be your punching bag. So now ECU is 3-3 against Campbell. Already a couple notes here. 15 different receivers caught at least one pass, which is the most since the 2004 season. You can't look back past 2004. 15 different receivers.
Everyone got love, man.
Everybody got a touch.
Everybody got a touch. Can't complain about your touches after Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, not to mention that, like, you were up so big that you were able to put in your third string quarterback by the end of the game.
Yeah.
Like, you weren't just getting your first string rest. You were getting your second string rest. They weren't even having to do anything.
You were legit getting guys, and then again, no slight, no disrespect, but you were getting guys who are probably not going to see the field of competitive nature the rest of the way.
This is one of those games that you're okay with burning a red shirt on, or not burning a red shirt on, but burning one of those 4 games before you redshirt a guy. Right? Get in, get some playing time, see what it feels like to play big time football. All right. Now, grab a water bottle and sit on the bench the rest of the year.
Still learn, though. Still grow.
7 different Pirates scored a touchdown. 8 offensive scores altogether, which is tied for the second most in program history. The last was 7 was Temple last year, which was 8 games ago, and that's the last time the Pirates scored 56 points. Look, Mike Houston got fired, and ECU's offense went skyward.
Yeah.
Funny how that happened.
Just needed to change the scenery. That's all. Just a little change of scenery.
So far this season, ECU is +3 in the turnover battle, forcing a pair of turnovers against Campbell on Saturday. Had one at NC State. They have, knock on wood, have yet to turn the ball over. So that was a big concern coming into the year. And it seems like they've figured that out.
Yeah. Player of the game's got to go to Brock Spalding. Though. Love that bomb to Brock that he laid out for the touchdown.
Hey man, shooter shoot.
Play of the game. Stop it. Jared, you're wrong for that.
Hey man.
Shout out Brock Spalding. Play the game.
You gotta have fun with it. Some other notes, Artie. This is a wild stat. ECU's defense held Campbell to 4 yards rushing on 27 carries. That's the fewest yards allowed rushing since they allowed just 2 yards against Duke in 1980. And that 4 yards allowed is still just fourth fewest in program history.
So we've had 3 different games where we've had less than 4 yards rush. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
9 tackles for loss for a total of negative 46 yards, pushing the season total to 19 tackles for loss for 66 yards.
Mm-hmm.
And they've registered 3 sacks for 26 yards in 2 games. And dare I say, like that's against 2 very mobile quarterbacks.
Right.
Brock Spalding caught a 55-yard touchdown pass from Caden Hauser in the second quarter for his first career touchdown. Man, it feels like Brock Spalding should have had a touchdown a long time ago.
It does.
Finished the game with 3 catches for a game-high 81 yards. Parker Jenkins scored his first ECU touchdown on a 17-yard run in the second quarter. Hauser was 25-35 for 314 yards and 2 scores. His 243 yards in the first half were a personal best in an ECU uniform. DeJuan Lacey experienced his first action as a Pirate, rushing 5 times for 19 yards and a score in the third quarter. Chasten Ditta, the freshman, true freshman, experienced his first career action, completing 3 of 4 passes for 36 yards and 1 touchdown. An 11-yard pass to Dylan Lorick. That's the future, y'all. That's the future. And then Thomas O'Halloran, first career punt. He had never punted already.
He had never punted?
In college or high school, he had never punted.
How's this guy on the team kicking punts?
He's an Aussie. Do we know the backstory there, Josh?
I don't know at all. I think he's a transfer as well. I think he transferred in.
I believe
let me verify. I think he transferred in from Duke, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check.
Well, he didn't have any punts at Duke either.
He was recruited. He was recruited by the last coaching staff. Like he was like a Mike Houston recruit, and because they talked about it on the broadcast how I don't think Blake Harrell had ever talked to him until like during camp this spring.
No, okay. So he's a sophomore in the classroom, 4 years of eligibility, redshirted last year, but he was an academic all-conference.
Yeah, dude, smart.
Last year.
Aussie, another Aussie.
So we just said, hey, he's an Aussie. He's got to be able to kick. We're just gonna take a flyer.
Pretty much.
Hey, caught him at a few camps. That's all you got to do. Can catch him at a few camps.
That is hilarious.
Also, yeah. I do want to verify real quick. Nick Mazie. His last name is Mazie. So make sure you get that. When you see it, Mazie. I've heard people say it different. I asked him at the game. He said Mazie.
That's good intel, Josh. It's good intel. Josh, I mean, you're here. We weren't expecting you. I'm glad to see you.
Absolutely.
You were at the game. Artie and I decided to take a break from my travels. What was it like? I mean, it seemed like for an FCS opponent, it was a pretty good crowd.
Yeah, I'll say it was a little bit surprising because I did not expect that many people. Not that I expected way less, but the away side, I'm sure that's what people saw on TV. It was decent. It was decent, but the home side was even more. And
Yeah.
I think some of that plays into the reseeding for season ticket holders. I think a lot of people who were stuck on the other side before, now that people have moved up into the press boxes, they can fill in that home side now. So I think that actually was really nice. Stadium, they took care of folks. They had free little water stations. They did a good job, even though we didn't have a heat advisory.
It sounded like things moved a lot better.
Yeah.
For this game. Now, granted, it's an FCS opponent. We'll see how they do in 2 weeks when BYU comes to town. But it seems like the fan experience as a whole, from what I've seen and read online, a lot of people were very happy with how everything went.
Yeah. And I'll say that probably plays into, honestly, there not being as many people. I think it was perfectly staffed, maybe just a little overstaffed on really everything. Everybody just felt like it was a few too many hands, but when BYU comes to town, we're gonna need probably even a few more hands to make it feel anything like that. Like I think everything did. Yeah. I think everything went very well on the operations side. It was a great game. Great activations during the intermissions. I will say I did not know that we were going to have the sponsored vest this year. So ECU's got the white vest with the Farm Bureau. Got a number. You got to actually check it out. We're official now, I guess. We're official now.
You're talking about like the media.
Yeah, the media. Yeah.
You're wearing. We're gonna have to get Malcolm. We're gonna have to talk to Malcolm and be like, Malcolm, we can only wear it if it has Roback on it.
Something.
That's why they want everybody to make sure that they get their vest. I got you.
And but here's a nice little touch. Unlike NC State, these have a pirate logo on them.
Like that. Also, I don't mind the ads on the sidelines either.
I didn't mind it. Didn't mind the Can-Am.
I thought I was about to watch a motocross race. With all the Can-Am.
Yeah.
But cool, man. I'm excited to get down to Conway with y'all this weekend.
Road trip.
Experience a new, I guess experience a new atmosphere for us. None of us, I don't think any of us have ever been there. So
going to Conway and seeing Coastal, and they building.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and throw it to some Coastal talk. We got Joe and Chili coming in from the Strut podcast. Welcome to the Boneyard podcast. Joe, welcome, Chili. How we doing, y'all?
Doing good. Good to see you.
Doing great, guys.
So I know so far maybe it's not been the year that maybe we expected or have wanted. I mean, you beat Charleston Southern this past weekend, shut them out. What was it, 13-0? It was a tough watch for the first like 3 quarters, and then y'all finally kind of pulled away a little bit at the end. Talk to me. What's going on with Coastal Carolina right now?
You watch it. You tell us. We're trying to figure that out.
I don't know. This tag guy looks like. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'll let y'all go.
No, I was just saying we just did a show we did a post show on Sunday afternoons, and the 3 of us got together on Sunday yesterday and kind of talked about what we're talking about here. And one thing that kind of came to consensus for us is maybe we're still looking for an identity on offense. You know, we're 2 games in, we've got a new system in personnel. Y'all know how the transfer portal treats schools like ours in G5. Guys going in and out. I think we're still looking for an identity, but I think there were some good things that happened Saturday. Joe, not a whole heck of a lot because they only won 13-0 over an FCS team and not a very good FCS team. So we're coming into Saturday with a lot of question marks. Looking forward to this new rivalry we've got going with East Carolina. That's going to be a lot of fun. But right now, offensively, we Joe and myself, we're scratching our heads.
as he scratches.
I really can't add much more to what Chili just said. I mean, the offense has averaged 10 points a game in the first two, just over 300 yards of total offense. 5 turnovers to 1 gained. 28%, I think, on third down conversions in the first 2 weeks of the season. It's been brutal to watch. I mean, there's just no other way around it. The defense, I think, it's hard. And again, after 2 games against a Power 4 Virginia team who might be a little bit better than what people thought, coming into the season, and then against a really bad FCS, it's kind of you don't really still know what you're dealing with, maybe, but I think the defense has a chance to be, Sun Belt worthy. I think defensively, we've done some things to get better from last season, at least over the first 2 games. I mean, you shut somebody out in college football. I don't care really who you're playing at what level. I mean, that's kind of hard to do. Somebody's going to get a screwy score one way or another, typically, no matter how well your defense plays. But I think defensively we have a chance. But offensively, we haven't figured out quarterback position. MJ Morris just has not been effective, and he finally got replaced late in the game the other night. Tad Hudson did a solid job. I wouldn't say spectacular, but he led the touchdown drive and then the final, 3 points field goal drive also. So unless, after these first 2 weeks, unless there is some dramatic improvement, which could happen, unless there's some dramatic improvement on offense, I mean, I'm kind of shuddering to think what I'm going to watch on Saturday night. We'll just see.
No, would you guys say that there are any bright spots at all on offense? Something that you guys can build on that you're kind of starting to see in the first couple of weeks as like, okay, this is something that may work for us going forward.
I was thinking the running backs. We were talking about this on our Sunday strut, and something we really weren't counting on because we're going to the air raid offense, right? So you expect to see the ball flying all about, but we've had, Joe, 3 or 4 running backs so far make some really good contributions in the first 2 games, and we even had one that rushed for 92 yards this past Saturday. So now I've been pleasantly surprised with how the running back room is. We got Javen Simpkins back. He was injured last year, and he's had a good start. And we had Jalen John, who transferred to Coastal, another good, solid running back. So we've got a good little running back room so far on offense. If it wasn't the air raid and we were running the wishbone, I feel way more optimistic about it. But we're spreading it out and running the air raid. So we're trying to figure out how those running backs are going to fit in.
Dominic Nicely is the one that Chili is talking about. I mean, he leads Coastal in rushing with 119 yards in 2 games, and he had 92 the other night against Charleston Southern. And a lot of that in the second half, but that kid's got speed. I mean, all he needs is a crease or a seam, and boom, he can hit it. And I think our offensive line has done a pretty decent job in the first 2 weeks of, doing the best they can with all the what seems like uncertainty and lack of confidence in what we're doing on offense to start with. So I like the running back room, like Chili said, and I think the offensive line, a veteran group. A lot of those guys played last year, so they have experience. But other than that, and we've got talent on the receiving core that they just can't get on the ball. I mean, I don't know if it's they can't get open or it's the quarterback. That's what the problem's been. But we have talent on the outside, just haven't been able to get on the ball.
Yeah, and Joe, it seems like we've either overthrown somebody on offense, an underthrow, a missed target. So it's kind of hard to put your finger on what the deal is between the quarterback and the receivers right now. It's just kind of hard to say. We had an interception against CSU as we were driving down the field. A guy picked it off at their 2-yard line as we were going in. So that was a classic overthrow. Then we had somebody else make a spectacular play too to make an interception. So it's really, really hard to put your finger on what's going on exactly as far as quarterback receiver relationship goes.
Dude, just follow up real quick because with the quarterbacks, you guys said it's kind of iffy there. Is there anyone that maybe has a lead or somebody that you guys are kind of leaning towards, like, okay, I think maybe he could possibly win out this job or this position, this battle, whatever?
That is. I have no clue who they're going to run out there on Saturday night. I really don't. I mean, because like I said earlier, MJ Morris with 4 interceptions and no touchdowns and completing, just over 56% of his passes in 2 games has just not looked the part. Whether it's all his fault or whether there's a lot of other things going on that he hasn't been comfortable, I don't know. But like I said, he got pulled finally in the game after a 3rd pick. And then Tad Hudson came in, who, he had never played in college football at all until the bowl game last year. That was his first time he'd ever stepped on the field, and he had to when we played the bowl game last year. And so he was the only quarterback who stuck around after last season, because everybody else, all our other quarterbacks popped smoke. They went everywhere else. But Hudson stuck around. He came in and he was solid. I mean, they didn't really put him in high-risk situations. Just hand the ball off, a lot of inside zone stuff. Just hand the ball, get out of the way. He threw 5 passes, completed 3. So, if it's Morris, if it's Hudson, we have another JUCO kid named Samari Collier. You see some of his tape, you're like, man, this kid can play a little bit, but he hasn't seen the field for us in 2 weeks. So I don't know if maybe it comes on for him on Saturday. I mean, he really looked the part looking at some of his tape, but he hadn't been able to work his way in. And we had another kid from San Jose State who tore his ACL in preseason, and maybe he could have been something, but he's out for the year. And the only other guy is John Hunt, who came in from East Tennessee State. But, I don't know if he figures in this or not. But to answer your question, I got no answer. I don't know that anybody's got the upper hand. I'm pretty sure nobody does right now.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at it, as a team, and granted, Tad Hudson's only got 6 passes under his belt. But, I mean, you're sitting at like 56% completion percentage as a team. And averaging about 150 yards passing per game through your first 2 games against a UVA team that, yes, they may be a little bit better than what everybody thought they were, but also against an FCS team that they went 1-11 last year. Mm-hmm. Anyway, but
yes.
And for the ECU fans listening at home, you may remember MJ Morris. He's the guy that jumped ship on NC State several years ago in the middle of the season to preserve a year of eligibility. If you remember that was him. He's back with his former offensive coordinator, Tim Beck, down there. Talk to me about the head coach. Is he on are we getting some hot seat vibes if we don't have a year that we were expecting this year?
Now, Jared, it's hard for us to dip our toe in those waters. We leave it to social media. We just like to read the tea leaves. And right now, if you read anybody who follows Coastal, they'll tell you about what you need to know. We have tried to shy away from any kind of controversy on the podcast because we get a lot of coaches who come on the podcast, so we don't want to speculate on their future. But social media is saying something, and it's really, really hard, I'll be honest, to express it without jumping into the controversy itself. So I can say that we're not pleased with the result the last couple of games and the way the season ended last year. We're looking for, and Joe said this last year at one point, and again earlier this year, about improvements in culture and improvements in certain small points of the game and that kind of stuff. And we're looking for that now. We're hoping it comes along. But as far as like being on the hot seat, I would be on the hot seat if I jumped in on that conversation.
We're a podcast that hasn't shied away from controversy here at ECU. So, but we understand. We understand. Trust me.
I can take a little bit of a swat at this. I'm not gonna. I'm kind of along Chili's lines too, but this is a big year for Beck. I'm gonna, and we said this in the preseason. You don't overhaul your assistant coaching staff, without expecting some immediate change. I mean, last year started 4-1 for Coastal and finished. Coastal finished 6-7, and pretty much looked bad those last 8 games of the year. Just did not play well. Offensive coordinator got fired midway through the season. Beck took over the offense, and quite frankly, the offense got worse. I mean, the numbers and the eye test all told you the same thing. The offense got worse. And so after the season, after the bowl game, which was a bad experience, the staff got overhauled. New coordinators, the entire defensive staff got overhauled. Only a couple of guys stayed around from Beck's original staff. And, I don't think that Chance Miller did not hire Beck. He's our new AD, and he didn't hire Beck. And so, you can kind of read between the lines of what I'm trying to say. This is an important season, and I really think the next few weeks will determine the course of where this team is going to go. The next few weeks, I think, are huge. I think Saturday night is big. I think the following week at South Al, when we start Sun Belt Conference play, is big, right? So, just make of that what you will.
I'm hearing you loud and clear. But switching gears a little bit, we talked a lot about the offense. Earlier, you mentioned the defense and how there are things that you're looking at that you're optimistic about on this defense. Talk to me about those. ECU has shown glimpses at times early this season of being explosive on offense. How's Coastal going to stop them?
Our defense has been the shining thing in the first two games for us. So we're really proud of how the defense has started off. And like Joe said a while ago, they're conference play ready. If you look at the first two games as an indicator, the linebacking group is an experienced group, looking for good leadership out of them. And then we had some transfers. We spoke on another podcast before we played Virginia about some certain spots in the secondary. And I got to be honest with you, so far defensively, I think as a unit, we've played pretty well. It's been one of those deals where we've had to have, like in the CSU game, you play a game, you go into the finish the third quarter, and the score is 3-0. So we were talking about this, that you're one muff punt away from giving that team a chance to win the ball game. So our defense really had to play tough despite what the offense was not doing. So defensively, I think we've had a few stars here and there. The usual suspects for us, like Shane Bruce, our leading tackler, middle linebacker, he's solid. We've had some guys on the edges. Miles Muyoung, one of our corners, has played pretty good so far. I feel like I'm missing somebody, Joe, as far as one of our leading tacklers go. We had some good play out of our defensive line against Charleston Southern also. So I really feel like right now as a group, our defense looks pretty solid after our first two games.
You'll see a kid number 18 out there, defensive lineman Zeke Campbell. I think he has been a disruptive force in the first two ball games. I think he's really been a big pickup for Coastal. Has 6 tackles, 2 for loss, and 1.5 sacks, and a couple of quarterback hurries in 2 ball games. I mean, so he's been pretty good. Dre Pinckney led us in tackles, 12 tackles on the season. Like Chili said, Shane Bruce has come up with our only turnover. Kind of a look what I found interception last week after some good quarterback pressure, right? But I mean, he has been a leader on that team. I mean, he has sold out for a lot of years for that program. I love Shane Bruce, one of our captains. So you go back to the Virginia game, and Virginia put 48 points on the board, but 21 of those, one of them was 7 of that was a kickoff return for a touchdown. 7 more was off a block punt after we had punted 47 yards and then got a penalty on that. Had to re-kick it and they block it, get about a 30-yard field, and then they score off that. And then the third quarter starts with us throwing a pick. And, that was returned for a touchdown. Fortunately, there was a penalty there, but they converted that on a short field. So, I mean, you look at the 48 points, and really not all of that was on our defense. And then, of course, we pitched the shutout last week. So I think we're going to be successful. We're going to have to continue to be good against the run. I think we've been, solid there the first 2 weeks, just 130 yards on the ground given up and, on average in the first 2 ball games. So hopefully we can do that and then get some pressure on the quarterback, which I think we've done a decent job of. We did a really good job of that on Saturday night against Charleston Southern. But again, how much of that's an accurate read? Charleston Southern, 1 week, East Carolina the next. You got two different animals that you're dealing with. But I like where our defense is, and hopefully, if we're in this game Saturday night, it will be because our defense will keep us in it. I think.
One more name I wanted to add, I couldn't remember who it was, Joe. It was Dre Pinckney. He's our leading tackler so far on the season. 12 tackles, 12 total tackles. He's a safety, so I forgot to mention his name just a second ago.
Yeah, and that kid's a good story, too. I mean, he has battled injury for his career. I mean, it seems like every time he'd get up, he'd get knocked down. But he's a team captain this year, and it's good to see him back and being a force for Coastal.
Now this is Jared and I's first time down the Conway. We'll be in the building Saturday night in attendance. I do want to ask, what is that atmosphere, that crowd going to be like Saturday night under the lights in Conway, Till Field, all that? Like, are we going to be getting full throat to capacity, or you think it may be a little tampered?
The this past Saturday was a sellout, and it set a record for attendance. So I got to imagine, the caliber of opponent you are versus what Charleston Southern with your group. I'm familiar with East Carolina. I'm from North Carolina originally. I know about East Carolina. You guys travel pretty well most of the time, and coming to Conway, getting close to Myrtle Beach, that's a fun trip for y'all. So I got to imagine it's going to be a pretty packed house this coming Saturday night. You got to make sure you get the Coastal app so you can get the free hot dogs and the popcorn and the drinks and nachos and all that kind of stuff. Make sure you do that. That's number one.
I'm downloading it right now.
Yes,
there you go.
They served. All about that. I saw on X they served over 27,000 hot dogs this past Saturday night. Wow. So
is it this app?
That looks like it is. Yeah.
Yes.
Coastal Carolina Chanticleers, Coastal Carolina mobile app.
That's it.
That's
downloaded.
Done. Jared's going to be very satisfied, Artemis. But we anticipate it being a very good crowd. I plan to be there in the press box covering for the Strut podcast. So I'm looking forward to it because it's the first time we've seen East Carolina since the Birmingham Bowl a couple of years ago. We've said for years that ECU and Coastal, even though we already have a pretty good baseball rivalry, would be a terrific football rivalry. So I'm looking forward to you guys coming down and hopefully beating you. If our offense looks great, maybe we have a good chance.
I meant to ask, yeah. So the free concessions, how's that work? So you download this app, the Coastal Carolina app, and you just walk up and show them you have the app, or they scan it, or how's that work?
So I didn't get a chance to go to the game this past Saturday. I was under the weather. So I think Joe TD was telling us you just pull the app out. I think you scan something on there under concessions or something maybe, and that's how it works. I have yet to use it, but I think that's kind of how the whole deal works. And you just get your food. We still have the other stuff too. Like there's still things you can buy while you're there too. But as far as everything else goes, we had a drone show at halftime, and part of the drone show was a hot dog in the sky. There was some nachos in the sky and popcorn. So people are really jumping on this whole free concessions thing. I mean, it made Sports Center when our AD first announced it. So
yeah.
And is that for all sports, or is it just for football?
Just for football.
Football.
But y'all are making money off beer and other, because it's just hot dogs.
There's money being made. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's money being made.
That's awesome.
I've got the app downloaded.
I just downloaded myself, so
we would like to send you notifications.
There you go.
So this is Monday, Joe. If they hadn't sold out their allotment of tickets and we're going live right now, then chances are ECU people are calling up the ticket office and getting their tickets now.
Yeah, go get your ticket. I was just checking. I didn't look on the Coastal website, but I was looking on. I know some people were looking at the Coastal website earlier, but I was just looking at like StubHub, and there's some tickets left, and honestly, not a bad deal. You can get right. I'm guessing what is right behind the is the press box side, the home side. I assume it is.
Yes, on the east side of the stadium. Yes.
Okay, so you can sit on about the 30-yard line for $76 right now. Row R.
That's a good deal, man. That's not bad.
If you want to sit on the 50, I got you for $100. Row M, 130 row D. If you want to see if Coach JDB will let you call a play, get down there.
That's not a bad deal.
I'm excited, man. That drone is the drone show. Is that for sure? Is that going to be a every week thing, or is it just?
I don't know. I know they.
Yeah, I don't know if they've announced it this week or not. I don't know if they're going to do it again this week or not.
It feels like that's something you save for not just a FCS opponent, though.
You would hope so. You'd think so, right? Yeah.
So I would think it's got to be there. I saw it. I was like, oh, that's pretty sick.
Yeah, it looked really cool. That was a great.
It was cool. It was a cool deal.
Only other time I've seen one of those was at the Dollywood up in Pigeon Forge. Artie, what you know about Dollywood?
I've never been. Would love to go though.
Dollywood's cool, Artemis. You would like Dollywood. It's a fun place.
Been to Pigeon Forge, but haven't been to Dollywood.
Oh, we need to make a trip up there, guys. I just want to ask last question. Looking at ECU, like we've talked about rivalries and whatnot. What is just an outsider's perspective on East Carolina right now, from a Coastal Carolina standpoint?
I think historically they've been that school who you're in the same state as UNC, NC State, and Duke, and you guys have been one of those programs every once in a while who overachieves and makes you very dangerous when you play somebody big. I remember years ago, like 1989 or 90, ECU had this great run. They played NC State and beat them in the Peach Bowl. My aunt was going to ECU at that time, so I remember her just being all excited about that. I had a friend of mine I went to high school with who played at East Carolina. And East Carolina, the things attractive about East Carolina to people that I know who like the program and everything is East Carolina plays big schools. They're not afraid to play anybody. They're pretty solid year in, year out, no matter what the system that's going on. So I think, honestly, Joe, outside looking in, it's regionally, it's a good matchup. I think it's just your history, first off. Well, not first off, but your history. A lot of respect there for East Carolina. You guys have had some bowl wins. A lot of good players have come out of East Carolina. So a lot of respect on our end, first off. But just looking forward to the matchup, and like I said a while ago, a potential new rivalry in football for us.
Love it.
I was impressed with East Carolina with what I watched against NC State. Really felt like they had a chance at the end. Didn't know that they managed things well at the end of that game, but I felt like they had a real chance to win that game. I thought, Lord, we got to play this bunch in a few weeks. And then the NC State handles Virginia last week, so it's kind of like, Virginia team that beat us 48-7. So I'm kind of concerned about this. I mean, ECU has talent, always have had talent. So this is going to be a challenge for Coastal. It's going to be a big challenge, a big one on Saturday night. But hopefully the Shots will figure some things out on offense, and it'll be a good ball game.
Yeah,
for sure. Well, guys, we appreciate y'all joining. Go ahead and give a plug to your podcast where they can find your content, and we'll see y'all Saturday.
You can find us on Spotify or Apple. That's our two most popular platforms. We are the Strut Podcast. We have a blog site, thestrutpodcast.com, where you can see Joe and I writing stuff, and it's really, really, really awesome. Right, Joe? That's a good way to word it.
It is.
You can tell we're writers, right? We've got that going on. So you can find us on X at the Strut Podcast. I'm always tweeting stuff out there, content, whatnot. Just come look us up. Boneyard Podcast fans, come check out the Strutties. We're a good podcast. We try to offer perspective and try our best. Joe, help me word this one right. We don't want to dip our toe in too much controversy, but we'll give you just enough to make you want to come back and listen to the next show.
I thought you worded that fine.
Well, thank you, Joe.
I love it.
Good.
See, we're willing to just jump right in with it. You want to talk controversy? We'll Artie's like, at least that guy is. But
maybe we should have sent you some questions ahead of time and just let you answer your own questions, and we can just kind of nod and smile while you're saying it. Would that have been better?
That might have been better. No. Well, guys, we'll see you Saturday. Best of luck after this weekend. But yeah, we really appreciate y'all coming on.
I
Be
appreciate
safe
you having
coming
us
down
on. We enjoyed it.
absolutely.
All right, bye, guys.
See you folks.
Once again, that was Joe and Chili from the Strut Podcast. Artie, how are you feeling after talking to them?
I feel good, man. I feel good. Look, this is a big opportunity for ECU. A lot of times in years past, non-conference doesn't treat us right. We don't start the season well, and it would be really nice to really start the season well. Start the season. We go into conference play with a winning record. That really kind of sets the tone for the season, so you don't have to play catch up. A lot of times ECU is playing catch up throughout the season. This one right here is big. We got BYU coming to town in a couple weeks, right? This one, we got to get this. We got to get this one. I know it's on the road. I know it's a night game in Conway. I think they're going to be game. This is not going to be 56-3. Sorry, ECU fans, it's not. I think the shots are going to be game, but this is definitely one where you're playing a team that is not up to the standard that they've been at in years past. We got to get this one done.
Yeah, and good thing you mentioned BYU. It was just announced today, Artie. That game, BYU, 7:30.
7:30. Are we on one of the bigger
ESPN2, Dowdy
ESPN2?
After Dark.
Woo, Dowdy on ESPN2.
It's gonna be
Night
wild.
game. Night game. And
But
BYU
it's
should
over.
be ranked.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. You could look at it after next week. I mean, NC State they got the short week against on the road at Wake this week. NC State's receiving votes. As crazy as it sounds, they're receiving votes this week.
Yeah.
That loss in a couple weeks may not look as bad of a loss as it was. One score loss on the road at a rival, who I guess the team that eventually gets ranked. At this point, I'm pulling for NC State. I hope y'all lose in the end, but like,
What do you mean lose in the end? Lose win.
like,
At what point is success enough for them?
At this point, I don't care what happens with NC State. We lost to NC State.
No,
the only game I cared about, we didn't win. So whatever they do is whatever they do.
no, help that resume out. Help that resume out. That's all I'm
But
saying.
that BYU game is only important if we take care of business this weekend. We're going to that game
Exactly.
1-2. It's not an important game. So
Nope.
got to take care of business this weekend.
All right. Do we have a walk the plank? I know I do.
I
Might have
have
a couple.
one. I have one. It's not a true walk the plank and like actual emotion, but game time emotion. ESPN Plus. Now, not linear ESPN2 next home game. ESPN Plus had a guy with what we call a Ronin kit. It's basically an octagon that you hold like this, like arms wide.
Yeah.
And because he was with ESPN, he was the one that could get on the field and record the players after a score, big play, things like that. Well, every time he got in there, he got in everybody's way, but he was doing his job. Like, at what point is the job too much? Just do the drone. Just give us the sky thing. Do something
You
where
got
it's not a human.
You got to let others eat.
Like,
Something that I noticed on the broadcast, they were talking about, I think they were talking about Javante Connor, or no, they were talking about Anthony Smith at one point. They just like were zoomed in on his head, like pre-play, like pre-snap. And then like the announcer is like, yeah, and there goes London Montgomery for a 6-yard run, and like it's just like showing Anthony Smith blocking. Like nobody else, nothing else was shown. It was just Anthony Smith. And I was like, I'm glad they didn't run it for a touchdown. Like, nothing. I'm like, this is brutal. And I guess that's a good segue into my actual walk the plank. It should be illegal to call yourself a sports bar and not have a subscription to ESPN Plus.
Well, everything did just change. So
I don't care.
no,
But you're right. You got
No.
to jump on that immediately. You got to just go ahead and just get on that. You're right. They don't
Like
know.
even then, like you would have never had this game. You would have never been able to get the USF Florida game unless you had like paid for an extra subscription. Like you have to have that full subscription.
Yes. That's
I
literally
went-
existence.
I went out to
While you're
eat
there.
at 5:00 Saturday night. I was trying to get an early dinner, pregame. I knew, okay, maybe the first couple minutes I'm going to see it at this bar. I went to the East Coast Wings in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. I said, hey, can you put it on the ECU game? Nope.
You went to East Coast Wings, though.
Look.
I was about to say, yeah, East Coast is not my first, second.
Where else are you going to go in Winston-Salem, Artie?
There's got to be a wing
I'm
stop.
going to do something local before I do an East Coast.
There's not really anything local.
Is there not a wing stop?
I guess there's one, but I don't even think they have a sit down.
B-dubs.
It was close. It was closer to where my parents live. It was more towards Lexington.
6 for $19.99.
Anyways,
5 minutes away, dog.
The craziest part about it, though. So I sit down, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, "Oh shit! They got the Kansas-Missouri game on. Close game. This game is sick. I'm watching it." Some dude walks in. I guarantee he only owns this hat because Phil Knight does cool stuff with the jerseys. Has an Oregon hat on. Walks in, and he asked him to turn every single TV into place to Oregon beating the shit out of Oklahoma State.
I was about to say, what portion of the Oregon game was he
This was like maybe third quarter, fourth quarter.
Like, bro, fuck off.
It was. And I about lost my shit when they turned it from the Kansas-Missouri game to Oregon beating Oklahoma State by damn near 100. You absolutely cannot do that. There has to be some kind of protocol for what games are played at a sports bar. In all the other TVs, you would think, okay, it's college football Saturday. It's the second college football Saturday of the year. No, the other games had tennis and women's golf.
Shout out women's golf.
It's Saturday.
They are a restaurant, not a sports bar.
But still, if you have wings and beer, you are a sports bar.
Whoa. Mexican joint had wings and beer.
That's true.
The Chinese joint had wings and beer.
All you're gonna get at a Mexican joint is soccer. That's all you
It's better. Hey, it is better. It's better than women's golf and tennis. I don't know. You just have some awareness on what you are doing. You see the score of that game? They're up 69-3 or whatever it is. We don't need to watch that. Let's watch the end of the Kansas-Missouri game.
The lesson here, kids: don't go to East Coast Wings.
Yeah, East Coast Wings, walk the damn plank.
I will say I did take a little bit of joy in watching that Oklahoma State loss. ECU fans should know why.
What did Gundy say about ECU? Didn't he say something?
Well, that too. I'm talking about even more recent of
what happened.
Coach and transfer and greener pastures at Oklahoma State. I guess. Imagine.
That was a difficult game to watch. It was a tough.
Imagine what it could be here though.
Very tough watch.
I feel like I had another one. I don't know. You just have some awareness when you're changing the channel at a bar. Have some awareness. Just
a quick one. Just RIP to all the HBCUs that got murdered this past weekend. Y'all got a nice little payout, but man, that was Grambling, A&T. I think there was another one. That was tough. I'm sorry, y'all.
Do you see A&T's coach's quote?
Yes.
About like it not being worth it. Yeah, we got a paycheck, but we got our ass kicked and we lost all three of our quarterbacks.
TV. That's it's a tough watch.
But I mean, it's not just the HBCUs. It's
your Middle Tennessee States and your East Tennessee States and your.
Let's not forget Middle Tennessee State is FBS. Might as well not be, but they are.
They'll fall in that category. So is UMass. UMass doesn't deserve to be FBS either.
Mm-mm-mm. Josh, anything else before we get to gambling corner?
That's all I have.
I'm sure I'll have another one. I knew I was thinking of something else. Yeah, whatever. Gambling corner. What we got?
All right. First up, we have Duke at Tulane in our local matchup. Looks like Duke is a road dog to the Green Wave.
Yeah.
Even though they had a better team for the quarterback to play with, right? That's why you would transfer.
They just had more money.
Okay. I thought transferring was about talent.
That part.
Nope.
Yeah, so Duke plus 108, plus 2.5 points. Basically a push, but I mean, still road dogs. And the over-under is 54.5. The over-unders are much better now.
They're kind of normalizing.
Yeah.
I guess I like Tulane here. I feel like it could be a game that could go either way, and that's why it's kind of a push. That minus 2.5 is really just like a home field advantage thing. But I think we'll be seeing another American Conference victory in that game.
Over under?
I'm gonna take the over. Feel like there's a lot of points to be scored in this game.
I will agree. I will take the over. I think there's going to be points scored. I do think that box score with Illinois was misleading. Duke put up over 400 yards of offense against the Brett Bielema defense. Pretty good. They had 5 turnovers.
I was about to say
why they lost the way they lost, but they're not playing Illinois. They're playing Tulane. So I think Duke bounces back. I think Duke wins this game.
I've got to go with the homeboys of Tulane. And because of the turnover woes, and because a lot of these guys have seen Darian Mensah in
that's
practice,
true. Yeah.
Like he's had live reps on some of these guys, right?
Nuggets.
So I'm gonna.
But didn't they have like 50 new players in the transfer portal?
I mean, they did, yeah, but that doesn't mean that they don't have tape,
right?
They
have the most tape on this quarterback as they've got on anybody.
Literally. So it's. I mean, yes, I think Tulane's gonna pick up on some stuff, and the over is gonna hit because Tulane's gonna have some short fields. Tulane's gonna have some short fields.
Yeah, I'm not at all concerned about Duke in this game.
All right, so we got a regional matchup, not really local, but I mean, got to throw this one in there because USF did have the upset over Florida. Yeah. So look at the disrespect here. USF, number 18 in the country, apparently, is plus 590. Down the street on the other side of the state, plus 17.5 at number 5 Miami, who is minus 900. The over-under is 56.5. Is it disrespectful?
USF covers. That to me that's easy. To me that might be the lock of the week. I think USF covers. I mean, plus 17.5, that's disrespectful.
I do want to ask very quickly though, as the Florida guy on this podcast, how you feeling about your boy Billy, man? What's that clock management at the end of the game, Josh? What the hell was that? What the hell was that?
All I'll say is that every Bama has its time between the great Bear Bryant and the great Nick Saban. You know, it's just our time. It's just our time.
So y'all just got it done right now.
we just gotta get through a few more buyouts. You feel me? Get through a few more buyouts, and then we'll be back. Hey, basketball did it. After Billy Donovan, right? You come back, and it just takes a while. Takes a while sometimes. But
so who's next? Who's next up?
Next up, we've got.
No, I'm talking about who's the next head coach at Florida.
Next head coach. Ooh, Joe Sloan, maybe.
ECU guy.
Yeah, if I had to pick anybody off the top of my head, that'd be number one.
You know who I think would fit in real nicely down there in Gainesville?
Who is that? Don't say Mike Houston.
No, I thought he was gonna say Mike Houston. I thought he was.
Hey, I would love to see that.
That's why I had to stop him.
I dare I say I think Lane Kiffin would be real nice in the orange and blue. I think he fits perfectly in Gainesville.
Lane Kiffin gets a shot at every SEC school before he retires. Is that what this is?
Yeah. I wouldn't mind. I mean, a few years with Lane.
Kind of that Urban Meyer-esque like vibe about him. You know, I mean, hell, at this point, JDB might be on the way there too. Sorry.
All right.
What were we talking about? Controversy?
USF.
No, USF covers.
I think South Florida comes back down to earth. I feel like USF will cover 17.5, but to me, Miami's a better team. They're going to win by double digits, but I think USF covers.
Over under? Either one of you?
I'll take under.
Yeah, I'll take the under on this.
All right, hear me out. Miami cover the spread and the over.
I can say. I mean, look, I think South Florida comes back down.
That's just a blowout.
They really do. They're not going into Miami. If they go to Miami, beat Miami, they better be a fucking playoff team. They better be a playoff team.
I mean, we were talking about this team might be 0-3 going into week 4, and now we're talking about could they fuck around and beat Miami?
Yeah,
I don't think they beat Miami, but I think they cover.
I mean, the conversation is there, but I believe in
Carson. If they beat Miami, this team better be ranked in the top 10.
No, they got to run the table though. You got to run the table.
No, I mean, they would be the only team in the country with 3 ranked wins at that point.
The AP would definitely put them top 10 for sure.
I don't know. I mean, you got this girl from Southern Cal not even ranking them, but moving Florida up 2 spots.
Boise State should not have been a ranked team.
No.
Just because they were doesn't mean that we have to treat them as if they're the same as Miami.
Josh.
Florida obviously is not the same as Miami right now.
That's fine. But when you beat them, at the time that you beat them, that is a ranked win.
I agree that South Florida should not be a top 10 team, even if they beat Miami, but the AP is going to put them top 10.
Why shouldn't they? If it was any other program, they would be a top 10 team.
They'd be number 1. If it was Alabama doing this, they'd be number 1 in the country.
Yeah.
They'd be number 1 in the country.
And Boise State would still be ranked. And so would Florida.
They're not ranking Florida.
No, but I'm saying if Alabama.
I get what you're saying.
But both those schools would still be ranked. Yeah. They dropped them after they lost to South Florida.
Yeah.
Those schools would still be ranked had they lost to Alabama.
We know how this goes. We know the hierarchy of things. We know the politicking.
All I'm saying they're the team to beat in the group of 6 right now.
What's next?
So we got basically a playoff game in week 3 again. Number 6, Georgia on the road, 3.5 point favorite, -188.
I do want to call out this real quick, this game started at -7.5 for Georgia earlier today,
It did.
and it's already moved to -3.5.
Yeah. So number 15, Tennessee, plus 155 money line at the house. Over under is 49.5. So I think this might be a little low scoring right here. What do we got? Is Joey Aguilar the same Joey Aguilar that ECU played once upon a time?
He is had an up and down career. I mean, he's. I mean, it looks like he's damn Eli Manning versus the Patriots when he plays ECU. But then at other times he doesn't look like a world beater. We'll see what happens when they're not playing, East Tennessee State. I like Georgia here. I'm not crazy about Tennessee here. So I'm taking Georgia to win, to cover, and I'll take the under.
Yeah, I do think this is a bit of a sloppy game. I'm gonna take the under. I think Georgia's a little overrated though. This don't really feel like the same Georgia team that it should be. This is at Tennessee. This is Rocky Top. I'm taking Rocky Top in this one. It's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be sloppy at times. I think this is one of those down to the final minute type of games. But I'm gonna take over Rocky Top.
I believe in the Josh Heupel era, Tennessee has only lost, and Josh, you can correct me if I'm wrong. They've only lost once or twice at home. Is that correct?
Something close to that, yeah.
So, all right, I'm switching. This is at Tennessee. I didn't.
If this was in Athens, I'm picking Georgia, but this is in Knoxville. So,
just give me Tennessee plus 3.5, and I'll be happy with it.
Tennessee plus 3.5. All right. Well, I'm going with Tennessee as well because I grew up a lover of the orange. Number 40 in my day was from Hickory, North Carolina, so it just felt so great to watch that. Tennessee beats Georgia, gets ranked in the top 5 for next week, and the over because I think Joey's going to have a game. It's going to carve up Georgia's defense. Georgia comes down to earth this year. Next game on the list, probably the biggest game of the weekend, in my opinion, is this Texas A&M
it's a sneaky
at Notre Dame. 6.5-point dog is Texas A&M, plus 210 outright. Notre Dame is minus 260 outright. Over under is 49.5 again. I'm gonna go ahead and go first on this one, and I gotta say Notre Dame outright. Texas A&M covers. Texas A&M covers, and the under is definitely hitting.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the under. I think the defense is going to show up for this one. I will take Notre Dame, although I really root for Texas A&M. I want to see Texas A&M good so bad. Like I want to see them like 11-1, 12-0. I just want to see Texas A&M good. So I hope they win this game, but I don't think they will. I'm going to go Notre Dame. Notre Dame covers. I'm taking under.
If this game were at Texas A&M, I might think about taking the Aggies. Notre Dame, they cover, and not many points in this game. Take the under.
So that's a 7:30 kick. That'll be a good one.
Competing with airtime for East Carolina, Coastal Carolina.
Yeah, they just put us on the plus. All right, last game is the ECU Pirates 7.5-point favorite. It's held pretty steady today, minus 255 at Coastal Carolina, who is a 7.5-point dog, plus 205 outright. 56.5 is the over/under. Did they not see our last game? Did they not see Coastal's last game?
Look, watching that, and this is no disrespect to the Coastal team, fan base, the Strut podcast. Watching that game against Charleston Southern, which that's what I watched after ECU's game ended. I watched the rest of that Coastal game. Coastal looked like absolute dog shit. Sorry. Give me ECU cover. Of course, if they cover outright. And under 56.5. I'm gonna go under just because Coastal's offense is doggy poo poo.
Not even for Coastal's defense being slightly good. Like,
I mean, they're all right, but they also let UVA score 50, damn near 50 on them.
Yeah, look, this ECU defense should be chomping at the bit. They should be motivated, hungry, and eager to play this offense come Saturday. I'm taking the under because, yes, I think ECU could put up 30 in this game. I don't think Coastal's going to put up over 20, 25. So I'm taking the under. Give me ECU. Give me ECU to cover. Yeah, they're going to cover that 7.5. This should be a coming.
I think if I were Vegas, I'd probably put this at 10.5.
It should be a coming out party for ECU. I'm not saying it's going to be a blowout. I don't think it is, but they should be able to cover that 7.5.
this all sounds so disrespectful.
It does.
But honestly, what my brain says is more disrespectful. So I won't even say it because that already
Say
sounds
it.
bad enough.
Say it. I already called them dog shit. Say it.
But ECU,
Josh, no, wait, time out. This is the second time you've done this. You did this against NC State. I'm not letting you get off the hook this time.
I'm giving you picks this time. I'll give you picks.
But I want your full opinion on Coastal Carolina. I might send this to Coastal and be like, play it on the video board before the game. I want to hear it.
Okay, here's my thing. Coastal Carolina right now is as to UNC Charlotte 2015, in my opinion. 2015 was, I believe, the first year.
Yeah, I was about to say, wasn't that the first year of like?
Just want to, I mean, like it. I don't know. Like Virginia is Virginia. ACC, I get it. They might be decent. I get it. They're not Virginia Tech.
Yeah, Virginia's 6-7 wins at best.
They're not Clemson. They're not Georgia Tech. They're not Miami. They're not Florida State. Like this is like you're still not even in the upper.
Yeah,
the upper echelon of the ACC.
Right.
You're in like tier 3 of the ACC.
Right. So like
borderline tier 4.
So like if I take the Stanford transitive property, your program's set back about 10 years. But I mean, it happened to ECU. We made a quick recovery because we made the right move at the right time. But yeah, I think ECU's going to cover, get the outright, and the over will hit.
Over, okay. So you think ECU's scoring a lot of points in this game?
ECU scoring at least, I'll say 48. I don't think we'll hit 7 touchdowns.
Okay.
I
love it. Boy,
I love how Artie and I were on the same. Artie and I had the same reaction. Artie and I made.
But here's the thing: defense is going to play a role, right? I think our defensive unit turnover margin is already positive right now. I think this is the game where they lock in and really build that confidence going into BYU. BYU is going to be bigger, might not be faster. They're going to be stronger some places, but I think this game is going to be the best setup. And I think that the coaches probably have it in the back of their mind at least, like, hey, we need to make this the game that we show them what they can do, so that they can do it again, and we can really do this. So
all I'm gonna say, we The only game that matters is this game right here. But as a fan, you win this game, that game next week looks a whole lot more fun. Just going to say that. Because BYU will likely be ranked. Should be ranked.
They have a bye this week, which sucks.
But I mean,
And so does Army.
Notre Dame
season that should not be.
Notre Dame had a bye last week and went up 2 spots in the rankings.
Yeah, they went up 2 spots from where they already were. People lost. This is they aren't ranked, so people at the bottom have to really drop out.
Bye week should be illegal. You should have to play every single week. I'm kidding. I don't know. I mean, that game's going to be a lot of fun next week. But you got to get through this one.
I was to say, take care of this one. We'll talk about next week when next week gets here. I
cannot wait.
Eat your chicken.
I want to take
Beach chickens.
Eat your chicken.
I wish somebody would tell me it's a Chanticleer, not a Chanticleer. It's a Chanticleer. Get the fuck out of here. All right. Guys, good episode. I got a flight to catch. Anybody else got anything else to say? All right.
Got no notes.
Make sure you shop Roback.com. Boneyard 20% off your entire order on your first order. Follow us on social media at Boneyard Podcast, at The Boneyard Podcast on TikTok. You can find all of our podcasts on Apple, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast. We're probably there. If not, just go to Apple, go to Spotify, and then leave us a 5-star review. And if you don't, Artie, tell them what to do.
Damn plank.
Damn right. And while you're at it, subscribe on YouTube. Hit that notification bell. Get notified every time we go live. And if you don't, Artie, what can they do?
Walk the damn plank.
Damn right. Be a friend of the podcast for life. Subscribe and leave a 5-star review. That's all we got, Pirate Nation. We'll see you in Conway.
Head to Conway Saturday, baby. Pirate Nation show. I want to see a lot of purple out there. A lot of purple.
Hit us up with the tailgate deets. Hit us up.
Absolutely.
Slide in those DMs. Let me know where I can get some Bojangles, maybe a hot dog. And not the free variety. No, I want it to be free, but not the one in the game. You know what I mean? All right, let's get out of here, Artie.
Hey, as always, Pirate Nation, we'll see y'all on Saturday. Wash your hands, wash your butts. We love y'all. Deuce.
Go damn Pirates.